Hello, my name is Mark. I'm going to be doing a Bible teaching. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to do a demonstration of the cold, the hot, and the lukewarm from the book of Revelation, chapter 3, 14 through 22. Jesus addresses the Laodiceans, and he says, because you are lukewarm, I will spew you out of my mouth. I want to emphasize, I don't know if you know this. So if you're going to make bread from a starter, I have water. I've got cold water, I've got hot water, I have lukewarm water. I put honey in there. I have ice cubes in here, so it's probably 50 degrees or so. This one was over 160. I don't know the exact temperature, but I put honey, I put yeast in there, and that yeast dies. Anything over 140 degrees will kill the yeast. There is no leavening action because the yeast has died. So yeast or leaven, right? Hot, cold, this is about 100 and a little bit under 110. And this is about maybe 10-15 minutes ago. I added the leaven, the yeast. It activated, it's feeding upon the honey. I want to emphasize this. This is not a coincidence. The leavening action only takes place in lukewarm conditions. This is why Jesus spews this out. He doesn't want us to become lukewarm. And that is the reason why, because the leavening action takes place in that. So what is lukewarm? Lukewarm is being conceited, having a good opinion of yourself, being opinionated, valuing what flesh and blood reveals, maybe even over and above what Revelation reveals. If you value your own opinions, you wouldn't seek a revelation. You have your opinions and others are listening to you. This is the nature of what lukewarm is. And that is where the leavening action takes place. I want to make this a brief video, not too long, but I just want to say, ponder this, pray about this, and understand some of the other videos that I've made concerning the leaven, the lukewarm, and such. The hot water will not activate. Hot water represents sincere love. That rebukes, it chastens, and it corrects. And it's for the sake of the person being corrected, being chastened. It's from love, and that is what Jesus desires from him. This represents the cold water, right? What does it say? A good news from a distant land is like cold water to a thirsty soul. We know that the gospel is good news. There are certain parts of the gospel that are absolutely good news and should be preached as good news. It should be inviting, it should be exciting, and it should change a person's life and quench their thirst, right? It should be giving them water, living waters. The Apostle John was the one who wrote the book of Revelation. He also writes in 5:6, he says, unless you're born of the water and of the Spirit, you will not see the kingdom. So he was the one who wrote the book of Revelation concerning the hot, the cold, and the lukewarm. And we know from historical facts that the Laodiceans built aqueducts to the city of Hierapolis, where there was hot springs, and to the city of Colossus, where there was the snow melt off. It was cold water, and they hoped that the cold would remain cold, but by the time it reached Laodicea, it was lukewarm. The same with the hot springs in Hierapolis. They hoped that it would be hot. By the time it reached Laodicea, it was lukewarm. So their expectation was not met. Just like Jesus has an expectation. I wish that you were cold. I wish that you were hot. That is, but lukewarm is spewed out by this reason, and by this reason alone, because that's where the leavening action takes place. It doesn't take place in the hot, doesn't take place in the cold, only in the lukewarm. Okay, thank you for watching. If you want to like, subscribe, or comment, I appreciate that, and I will see you in the next video.